Hello everybody, this is Jedi 270 from Airsoft RX, and as I said earlier, if you caught that little short video I did, we're going to do, basically we're just going to talk airsoft. I get the questions all the time about what's the right gun for me. Is this true about what they're saying about a GBBR? Is this true what they're saying about an AEG? How much money do I have to spend to get started in the sport of airsoft? Well, the good news is not a lot. The biggest cost you're going to have in airsoft is your gear and your gun. And a lot of people will sit there and say, this is a great starter gun. The word starter gun doesn't stick well with me because if you're going to buy a gun, a starter gun, for about 150 bucks, why not save up another couple $50 and get a really good gun? That way you're not stuck with having to sell this starter gun on eBay to afford your next one. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. So before we get started, real quick, check out the t-shirt. That's right, 2012 NCAA Men's Conference 1 National Champions, the University of Kentucky Wildcats. There it is, baby, best in the nation. Was any argument? All right, now, another thing that gets me is when I watch these videos and these unboxings, one of the first things that happens is they'll unbox a gun. They'll review it in the first 24 hours that they open it. They don't use it for a while before they review it. And it's just, they're so excited they got this new gun. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all are. I find myself sitting on the front porch waiting for UPS all the time. That's part of the coolness of getting a new gun. But the problem is, a month later down the road, when the gun starts goofing up and stuff starts breaking, to prevent themselves from having to eat crow and do another video and come back and say, oh, guess what, it broke. These are the cons now. It's not a super or stellar gun as I once thought it was. So therefore, what you end up with is the eating of the crow. Okay, so, you know, get the gun, shoot it for a while, and if there's cons, let people know what the cons are before they go in to spend their money. Because what's going to happen is a month or two down the road, when this person bought this gun because of the video that you put out, and it breaks, they're going to be like, oh, what's this and what's that? Next thing you know, your channel ratings die, your channel dies, and you look bad. Okay, so put out what's good and what's bad about a gun. Everybody watches these reviews because they want to know what this stuff is really about. So here's another thing. They open up the box, they look at the gun, they take the starter BBs, and the first thing they say is, don't use these BBs, they're crap, they'll break your gun. Wrong. 90%, well, I won't go that far, I'll say 75% of the BBs that are packaged with AEGs or GBBRs when they come are all made by either GMP or Matrix or Mad Bull. They make all these little starter packets and they sell them to all the gun factories so they don't have to turn around and spend the money to manufacture their own BBs. If they're seamless, use them. If you go and you buy a bottle of BBs and it costs you $7 for 50,000 rounds, guess what? They're going to tear your gun up. Don't use them. Now, a lot of people talk bad about Crossman. Crossman has been in the air gun business for a very long time. They started coming out with their precision ammo. This is the 20 gram in white. They also do the black, which is supposedly invisible BB. They are hard to see in flight, in the 25 grams. They are completely perfectly spherical at 6 millimeters, and they are highly polished BBs. I have used these in a pinch, and I have used these as a staple. There is nothing wrong with them. And instead of having to wait to order your BBs from a website, but if you trust those BBs from that website, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you not to buy from these guys. I'm just telling you, in a pinch, you're sitting there waiting to play a game, run down to the local Walmart, pick up a jug of these. They're going to cost you about $12 to $15, which is the going rate for Mad Bulls or Matrix or Golden Balls or any of these other BBs out there. And these are going to do you just fine. They're not going to tear your gun up. Even if you put a 12 gram seamed BB through your gun, it's not going to break it right away. It's not going to instantly spit it out and the gun's not going to disintegrate in your hand. It's going to take a little bit, but it will damage them. So stay away from those. Another thing that every airsofter absolutely needs, and that's chronograph. This is an Excratec 3200. You guys see this a lot on Airsoft GI. You see it on Evic, Airsplat, Megastore. Just about everybody's using this chronograph now, and there's a reason why. This one has some features that the Mad Bull doesn't, and the Mad Bull has some features that this one doesn't. What I like about this one is you don't have to plug it up to a computer to charge it. You just put in some AAA batteries and you're good to go. I've had this thing for almost 2 years, and that's the same set of batteries that came with it. Okay, it's a great chrono. There's a reason why people use this. You can pick these things up now for about $85 to $90. So instead of going out and buying the next tactical thing that you want, spring on what you need, because nothing's worse than going to the chrono station at a field and finding out that your gun shoots too hot. Now you're stuck with having to visit the vendor's table and buy a bunch of stuff to tune your gun down so you can still play. If you're not like my former partner Goat, who took like 20 guns to the field for different things, but he played every day, and he is what I would refer to as a professional airsoft player. He took it very seriously, every piece of his gear. But this is a very important tool to have. Now, there's nothing wrong with the poor man's chrono. Shooting the bottom of a pop can and making sure it goes through the corners will let you know that, yeah, you're shooting around 400. But when you step up to a chrono station and you just dropped $50 for a 2-day pass to play at Operation Lion Claws or Operation Irene, and you've traveled so many miles to get there, nothing sucks worse than knowing you can't play and having to spend more money on your gun. This is a necessity. Alright, let's talk about other necessities. The clothing that you wear. You can go, if you have a surplus store near you, you can pick up surplus ACU military issue pants. You can get woodland, you can get black, you can get olive drab, and you can get them for about $12 for a pair of pants and maybe $10 for a shirt. You can also pick up used Army issued combat boots, and I'm telling you, being former Army myself, it can go through 5 different soldiers, and those boots are still going to last for years because the Army doesn't buy junk, period. They put good gear on their soldiers for a reason, so that's a good place to buy your boots. Instead of going and getting a brand new pair somewhere, you can get a pair that looks almost brand new for 3 times less the money and lasts you just as long. There's no need to spend a ton of cash. Now, when I was talking earlier about the BBs and how you have different companies making different stuff for different people, GMP is a very well-known name in the airsoft industry, so is Element. Element does a lot of OEM stuff, and that means original equipment manufacturer. When I worked for a company in Madisonville, Kentucky, International Automotive Components, they did not manufacture the wiring harnesses for cars that went into the headliner, which we did manufacture. Those were made by AC Delco. And then the factory would buy those wiring harnesses from another company that were original manufacturer equipment for the Chevrolet or the Toyota, the Mitsubishi, the Fords, and then we would install that in the headliner. The reason for this is these companies do not have the manpower, the floor space, or the money to be manufacturing every single little trinket that goes on an automobile. Neither do the airsoft manufacturers. When you're building these AEGs and GBBRs, you just can't do it. So you've got to outsource some of your work to somebody else. When you go to your local Walmart, you buy corn. This is great value corn. Do you know what's inside it? Del Monte corn. The reason being is Walmart does not have the time to grow, pick, can, and distribute this corn. So in order to have a store brand, they pay Del Monte to put their corn in this can with their label. It's called rebranding. Same thing, almost all Echo 1s are D-Boys guns. The Echo 1 scars are D-Boys scars. They buy them by the boatload, they bring them in, they yank the D-Boys gearbox out, they put the Echo 1 gearbox in, they run it through the laser, they put Echo 1 badging on it, and they sell it to you for $100 more. Are you getting more for that $100? Yeah, you're getting a better gearbox. So there's really nothing wrong with that. The reason is that Echo 1 does do some manufacturing, but not a lot. They don't have the ability to manufacture all these different guns, so they pick and choose and they rebrand. Great Value bread. In this area, in my area of Western Kentucky, this is Bunny bread. That's who makes it. And they stick that bread in the Great Value package. It may be whatever bakery is close to you. Walmart can't bake the bread or slice it. They repackage. Same thing in airsoft. When you become a retailer, your eyes open. Once you start getting into the realm of manufacturing parts of stuff and call manufacturers and distributors, and you start talking to people, your eyes open. And I'm like, holy crap, I've been paying this much for this or this much for that, when all along it was just this. So there's ways to save money. What gun's right for you? Well, that just depends on where you play. Obviously, if you live in Arizona where it's a dry heat, or down in Florida, you can get away like John Rambo does with playing gas blowbacks year-round. The middle of December, February, January, he can play with a GBBR. Us in Kentucky, we can't. We have to have a wintertime gun, which would be an AEG choice. There are some AEGs in the house. I don't own one. I run GBBRs because I don't play in the winter. I don't like the cold. Depends totally on you. What role are you going to play? Are you going to be a sniper? Are you going to be a gunner, a heavy gunner, a grenadier, support? Each one of these roles all come into play. If you just want to hit the field and play, then I would highly suggest anything from Echo 1, KWA. JG guns are good, but you're going to have to do some work on them. They'll eventually break. All in all, when it comes down to it, it's all about externals, okay? Because the internals are going to change anyway. You can go to any airsoft field for anybody that's been playing for a while, and you can say, hey man, I like that JG. Guess what? It's only a JG on the outside, because most airsofters do what? They upgrade, and they put different stuff from different people. You can have a Prometheus in a barrel. You can have a Systema gearbox. You could have Mad Bull stuff in there. It is a great big old hodgepodge boiling soup pot full of different things. So as soon as it comes out of the box, within the first month, it ceases to be what the box says. I had a JG M4S system, and I had a Systema gearbox in it. I had a Systema high torque motor in it. It was a beast. But you do have to stop and think about one thing. In the gas blowback realm with the M4s, if you get an AGM, it's total crap. The body's crap, the internals are crap. There's a reason why it costs $117 on eBay, is because it's pure junk. And it's going to break on you. If you're lucky, you turn around and you put some steel internals in it, the body pins are going to break. It's going to fall apart. You get what you pay for. Now, there is a company that I'm going to start doing reviews for. It's called www.tx911gear.com. This guy, Donald Etheridge, is a distributor of mine in his other company, but he does run a retail site. It's one of the only websites out there that's going to give you free shipping on anything over $49.95. Come on, $49.95. I mean, everybody else does $100, $125, $175, $199. Even I'll do it over $150, but he's doing it for $49.95. Anything above it. Get even to do that for you. And some of the gear, granted, he doesn't have 5,000 pages full of stuff on there, but he's competitive. And we're going to be doing some Elite Force BBs, which, if I'm not mistaken, I know the Elite Force AEGs are made by Umarex. A lot of folks say, ooh, Umarex. Umarex has everything from toy grade airsoft, which is your springers, all the way up to the elite stuff that's constructed by VFC. You can't beat them. It's a great company. They hold a lot of licensing for real steel guns, and we all know how much we love having licensing. It just makes it that more realistic. Okay, back to what's the best gun for me. If you're going to play sniper, there's the UTG L96, and then there's the Bravo L96. This one belongs to my son. And the one thing that I love about the Bravo L96 that UTG does not do is they flute the barrel. And every little thing on these guns really makes the difference. And a fluted barrel, when it came out of the box, I was like, ooh, a fluted barrel. That right there was enough for me, because they made it as realistic as possible. This gun will also accept UTG's upgrade system from the 400 FPS unit up to the 500 plus unit. It'll accept all the upgrades that the other gun will accept, and it's probably about $30 cheaper after you outfit it with its bipod and its scope from Aim Sport. A nice scope, nice bipod. A lot of the people, when they review these things, they say, oh, it wiggles. Well, there's a reason for that. If you're on uneven terrain and these bipod legs are adjusted far enough, let's say you're on an incline like this, and you need about another quarter inch to straighten your crosshairs out, you just tip it, there you go. It's not a fault, and a lot of people will call that a con, and it's not. Great gun for the price. That is probably one of the best guns for the price you're going to find for a sniper role. You can go get the Barrett. You can go get the Intervention that costs almost $1,500. Why would you do that? For the simple fact of saying, I have one. But that's cool if that's what you want to do. All I'm trying to tell you is how you can do it cheaper and get just as much quality. This is a Sama M4 A1 CQBR. Full metal body. He has a Walmart purchased Tasco red dot on top here. Tasco's well known in the optics world. Is it really tactical? No, but it gets the job done, and the price is way cheaper. And it does a good job for him on this rifle. This is my son's.
Till I get a new one.
6 position, crane stock, wired to the rear. Okay, you got a full metal body. Comes with a high cap or a mid cap. I can't remember which one was it, high cap or mid cap?
Comes with a high cap.
Comes with a 350 round high cap, that's right. This foregrip right here, like I said, this is one that came in the Echo 1 Scar. I took a bicycle handlebar grip, I cut it down, a little WD-40 and a little backbone, and I put it on there, and now you have a really nice rubber textured grip. We've covered this before in another video. Awesome. $50-some. You got the UTG SWAT Force tactical light. How many lumens?
400. I can't even remember how much is on there.
It's pretty tough though. I have one on mine, on my GMP. This is a ZL338, I think, or 228. Mine is a ZL337, which is about 200 lumens. Guys, these tactical lights are something that you can get dirt cheap. You don't have to go that expensive on them. And if you're playing CQB, a lot of people will say night games. Okay, fine, play it in a night game. But it is one of the best distractive devices for a CQB operator in the world. You'll notice LAPD SWAT D platoon using them. You'll notice Rangers using them, SEALs using them. It's an invaluable tool for what it's for. But this is the CQBR. This was about $180 after he got finished doing what he wanted to do to it. These are XTM Magpul rails that I picked up off of eBay. I got a full set for $9. I mean, all colors, a full bag, because I found that deal. Research, find the deal. Don't settle for the high-end stuff. It has the coat licensing on this side, and on this side, down at the trophy house of Muhlenberg County, we did the tactical plate and the Task Force 141 Call of Duty plate for him on that side of the mag wheel, covering up all of this gun's made in China crap.
Because Pyro loves him some Call of Duty.
Okay, so that covers that. This is the GMP WOC M4 Challenge Kit. You guys have seen me review this gun several times. All steel components have been put inside because the kit comes with the hardened anodized aluminum. They're not going to last long. Do not confuse the Challenge Kit for the WOC-X, because the internals that come on the Challenge Kit are way better than the WOC-X. Not by much, but way better. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, on the front end here, you have a GMP M203 that was all black, and now it's in tan and gunmetal gray. I did all that paint work myself at the Trophy House. This is another thing, another service that we offer. The Trophy House of Muhlenberg, I think it's the Trophy House at yahoo.com is the email address. The phone number is 338 0921. The area code is 270. So 270-338-0921. We can take your lower receiver. We can laser etch whatever you want on that. If it's a blank canvas, a good gas blowback for that is a KJW. The WEs etch up well as do the GMPs. But this one was already laser etched with seal trades, and I had Ranger plates put on there. I went and I bought the real steel. This is the Viltor E-Mod stock. This is the real steel Viltor double QD sling mount on the back on the stock tube. This is the Beta Project PTSP mag. And then on the front we have the ZL337 SWAT Task Force light. You notice how it deadened out that light sensor on the camera. Guys, this thing shines in your face. The next thing you're going to feel is about 3 or 4 rounds in your armor, and you're out. Down here we have a 60 round. You don't need more than that. I sell these for about $25 a piece. These are the 60 round. SHS makes it. The M203 40 mil grenade works perfectly. You don't need 50 gabillion rounds going down range. You're only wasting ammo. It's overkill. Overkill will get you in this business in a heartbeat. The GMP WOC Challenge Kit turned into a much more expensive gun with the addition of the steel. And I highly suggest if you buy that from EVIC and you go to EVIC to get it, you get it when it comes in stock, because as soon as they get them, they're gone. $200 for that rifle, you throw in $65 worth of internals, and then you just start building on your furniture and everything else that you want to do. All in all, probably about $350 to $400 in that rifle, and that's a $600 rifle, if not better. I could sell it tomorrow on eBay for probably $600 or $700. It runs that good. Now, AEG wise, as I said before, this is Padawan's gun. This is the Echo 1 SOCOM SCAR MK16. We haven't changed the flash hider out yet. It's got some XTM rails on it. It's a work in progress. This gun, your charging handle can go from the left or the right depending on how it's ambidextrous. You can change it like you do the WE SCAR. I'm sorry I don't have the WE SCAR on the table because I went against my better judgment and I said I'd never sell it, and I sold it. So why? I don't know. But at any rate, this is the Echo 1 model. This comes with an 8.4 volt nickel metal hydride battery, which rides back here in the stock underneath the cheek piece. The only thing I don't like about it, it's only a 3-position adjustable stock. It does fold to the side for CQB. This is a Du Bois rebranded to Echo 1. There's nothing wrong with it. Before my channel was deleted, before I had a video shooting a spray paint can with this thing. It's a total beast. It shoots around 420 to 430 FPS consistently. It's a great little AEG. It's good for field and it's good for CQB use, and you can pick these up for a little over $200 at any airsoft retailer. This is a good choice for you to start off with, as well as with the Simon Colt that I just showed you. That's also if you want to go AEG. If you want to go GBBR, then you can go with the GMP. Another good one is a KJW. John Rambo talks about the KJW having great magazines. He's done the PTS mags, the Pro Wins, the GMP mags, the King Arms mags. If you get that kit and you want to buy the cheaper King Arms mags, you have to have a King Arms bolt, guys. It will not function with the GMP and the King Arms mags. I've had people tell me that, Jedi, you're wrong, it will, but this is the person that put the magazines in there, shot the first 3 or 4 magazines, made the video, and later down the road, when the gas routing bucking ripped off of it, didn't come back and say, you know what, I was wrong. When you find somebody who comes back a month later and tells you, hey, this gun broke and this is why, that's the person you need to subscribe to. That's the person who's straight up going to tell you the truth on everything out there. Now, we're going to talk about pistols. AEPs are nice pistols. I don't have anything here to show you in the AEP, but that means automatic electric pistol. You don't have the blowback, you don't have any of the other stuff, but you have the battery, you don't mess with the green gas, you don't mess with the propane, you don't have any of those issues, you just charge it up and use it. There's nothing wrong with it. They're generally cheaper guns, and there's even cheaper CO2 gas blowbacks out there. There's one that's non-blowback CO2 that I reviewed, the Rumorex HKUSP. First thing people ask is how you take that gun apart. If you have that gun, and you've asked me that question before, you pull out on the orange flash hider, the slide comes off. Dismantling it, beyond that, I couldn't tell you because I didn't do it before I sold it. Okay, I did shoot it. A lot of people say that theirs goes out 20 feet and the BBs drop. Didn't happen with me, but then again, like I said, I didn't have it that long, so I couldn't tell you. This gun is the WE Desert Warrior, and it's also known as a CQB Master. This gun is modeled after the Kimber Desert Warrior, and it'll come to you in tan and tan. This one was done in anodized black. I changed it because every Desert Warrior I saw that was made by Kimber was the two-tone, and I like two-tone. I reshot the grips in black versus the ugly blonde grips that were on it. I will tell you that like most WE pistols, after a while your loading nozzle will stick forward. That's nothing wrong with the gun, you just need to lube it well, and it will, that's just tight tolerances, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you keep it lubed, it won't jam on you and it won't stay open. Now, on this side, the trophy house, we put the Kimber trades on that slide. Kimber Custom Shop and Kimber. All right, I made it bigger intentionally for copyright reasons. That's something that we have to do when we do your gun. That's what we have to do. But basically, it comes out looking just as nice, and I feel like it deserved to have its Kimber name. This is another WE. This is the WMEU. This one belongs to my son. It was in olive drab complete. We shot it in a textured gunmetal gray on the slide, and it has been redone to say Renegade on the side. I don't know if you can see that. And on this side, it says Springfield Armory and has the Springfield badging logo on the front.
Spaced for copyright.
It's all spaced out for copyright reasons. Great little gun. Same issue with the loading nozzle. It hasn't started to happen yet, but it will. And I'll go ahead and tell him now, lube it up, lube it up, lube it up. All these gas guns, everybody says gas guns are going to break in a week. You know what? Any gun made, I don't care if KWA makes it, I don't care who makes it, it's going to break if you don't maintain it, guys. It's going to break. Period. It doesn't mean it's crap. You've got KWA fanboys, which KWA, by the way, has still yet to release their LM4. We haven't seen it in the United States. There's been copyright issues with that. There's been issues with their gas system not working in the rifle like it was in the pistol. I know there's people out there that's going to tell me I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I know I'm right. I've done my research on it. Okay? And if you do the research, you'll see it too. Doesn't mean KWA is a bad company. I will tell you that some of my distributors have stopped carrying KWA because one of them in particular, which will remain nameless, bought I don't know how many cases of KWA guns, and 95% were returned by the customer for breakage. I don't know if it's just that particular run or that particular model from KWA, but just because it says KWA doesn't mean there's an S on your chest. It doesn't mean that only kryptonite can bring it down. It's a machine, guys. If you don't maintain it, it's going to break. And with the real steel guns, you got to maintain them. They will fail. I don't care if it's Kimber, Sig Sauer, Glock, Remington, Ruger, Mausers. All these guns are going to break if you don't maintain them. The same way with airsoft. You have to do your maintenance. But the beauty of a GBB versus an AEG is there's less items inside the gun to break. It's a heck of a lot easier to maintain and are a lot easier to work on versus the AEGs, shimming the gearboxes, putting in and sort of stroking the cylinders and the teeth and the pistons and all this crap. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. But if you dig working on AEGs, and a lot of you guys do, I don't have a problem with them. I personally don't like working on them because I'm afraid I'm going to goof something up. When you crack open that gearbox, you better know what you're doing. You can upgrade them to shoot way up to 30, 35 rounds a second. There's another reason why I don't get into AEGs. I don't like going to the field and some kid pop around the corner with a 1500 round sitting there winding it up, just throwing rounds. Be a man, step out and play. I can kill you with one BB out of that gas blowback on a 30 round real steel mag as much as you can kill me with that 450 round high cap. The thing of it is about the real cap is it teaches you to play better, conserve your ammo, take your shots better. It's just an all-around better system, and you will find out when you go to big games that are put on by Mind Games, your Irenes, your Line Claws, all these big, huge games where people come from all over to play. You are in mid-cap restricted games. There will be no high caps allowed. No running and gunning and whining and crying. It's going to be 120 rounders, 130 rounders, 50 rounders. You're going to be restricted to how many magazines you have. Not so many how many you have, but how many rounds your magazine will hold. Get used to it. They're making the game more competitive for everybody. Now, what else are you going to need? Well, you're going to need a tactical vest. Maybe you don't feel like you need one. I'm telling you, you need one. You're going to have magazines draping all over you unless you do. Thigh pockets of your pants and everywhere. A good vest will save you a lot of hassle. This vest is a UTG cross strap. This is the deluxe. This one belongs to my son. He's got M4 capability mags. He's got a cross draw for his pistol. He's got pistol mags up here. I don't run with no more than 3 mags on my person and 1 in my gun for the pistol. Nobody needs 15,000 pistol mags, okay? Unless you're dumb enough not to bring enough M4 or AK mags or MP5 mags on your body. Somebody out there is going to be stupid and bring like 2 or 3 high caps and think they're going to play on it all day, and it's just not going to happen. You know, you're going to be sitting there spraying and praying, smoking and joking, and eventually you're going to run out of ammo. When you go to the field, I'm telling you right now, ammo, 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 tons of water, little snack, granola bar or something in your admin pouch to eat on. One of the things you're definitely going to need is either a radio to communicate with your team or a fully charged cell phone. If you're running with an iPhone or like me with the Samsung Infuse, they're not really great on battery length, so you're going to want like a little throwaway phone, what they call them, you know, like a Go phone, fully charged. Why do you need that, Jedi? Well, I'm going to tell you what. You go down to Georgia, let's say you live in PA. You go down to Georgia to play on a field you've never been on before. You don't know where you're at. You take off running and gunning and you're going to flank somebody. You get away from your team, you're running through the woods, you trip over a rock, and there's a dead tree with a big old limb about like that, sharp as a point on the top of it. You fall over, it goes through, it punctures a lung. You are screwed. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't scream for help. Your lungs flattened. You're not going to be able to get out of there. Good thing to remember, you can go to countycom.com, visit my friend Lane Maddox 00's channel. He'll teach you everything you need to know. Send him a message, he'll tell you how to get this stuff. There is a down pilot strobe, costs 15 bucks. You put that in your admin pouch, you put it in your medic pouch. For that very reason, when you're going to the field to play these games, you're no different than a regular soldier in a combat arena. You need to make sure you have things that are going to save your life if you need them. Emergency blankets, antiseptics, tourniquets, all this stuff is available to you. Airsoft GI sells this really cool first aid kit. I got one on my body armor right now and it is fully loaded and ready to go. If I'm down in the nighttime, I can reflect the light that aircraft searching for me can find me. If I'm down during the daytime, I've got either radio or telephone communication so they know where to find me. It can happen, y'all. I know it sounds weird, but you're running and gunning. You trip over that rock. You stab yourself through the chest. What are you going to do? Sit there and pull your Game Boy out of your admin pouch and play Game Boy while they're looking for you? Maybe, help, help. The Game Boy does you no good. Don't carry useless crap. Put together the tools that you're going to need to work on your gun if you need to, in a hurry, to field strip it and work on anything in your gearbox. If you're one of these tech kind of guys, you know what to put in your admin pouch. Get yourself some emergency food that's going to last you, a signaling mirror, radio, phone, and a first aid kit. It is a must. And plenty of water and all the ammo you can carry and you're good. Okay, that's all you need to worry about. You can also go with North Star Tactical does a good plate carrier. I love them, but they don't make them to fit me now. But this is the Condor MOPC, Modular Operator Plate Carrier. Okay, on this side, I've got 2 extra pistol mag pouches. On the front, I have enough room to run 18 M4 mags. I run gas blowbacks and need that many mags. You can buy mid caps for your AEGs in 10 packs. You got enough to run 20 mags, you got 20 mags, carry 20 mags. You're going to need them, why not keep them? Get a butt pack, get a quick grab pouch and put all those extra mags in with your dump pouch. I got a dump pouch on, where's my dump pouch?
Back.
Okay, there's my dump pouch right there. Gotta have a dump pouch to put your empty mags in. I got my Camelback on the back for my water. And on the front is, in my opinion, the absolute best admin pouch on the market. It's made by Maxpedition. It's designed by Mil-Spec Monkey. All you guys who have been watching YouTube for a while know who Mil-Spec Monkey is. He's an awesome guy. He's funny as all get out. But this pouch gives you all the room up here to display all your pretty patches and all your team designation and all that stuff. And a lot of people use these admin pouches and plate panels for that reason, to display patches. There's nothing wrong with it. I've got my Jedi on here. Sometimes I'll put one of my old military patches on there, but it is a functionality. This one opens up, it's right there on your chest. You put your chin there, pull it open, dig around in here, find what you want. It's got another secure pocket here. 1, 2, 3, 4 different pouches there. for all of your gear and stuff that you want. A pocket knife, carry a pocket knife. Paracord, get a paracord bracelet. Very cheap, you may need it. And you've got the admin map panel right here. So you can pull it down while you're standing there and look down at it without taking it out and read your map. About 35 bucks, about anywhere I've seen them. Guys, this is a must. If you're going to have patch room and you're going to carry an admin, this is the admin pouch you need by Maxpedition Hard Use Gear. You cannot beat it, okay? On this side, as I mentioned before, is my medical pouch. You see how fat that thing is? Not as fat as I am, but check it out. It is full. Everything I need to survive in case I'm playing somewhere and I get lost. Jedi's coming home to his wife and kids, okay? Period. In my career in law enforcement, I put myself in that mindset. I'm coming home to my wife and kids. I'm going to live point blank. And I'm going to do everything to make sure that I live. And this is right here. Food, water, ammo, medical equipment, self-rescue. That's all you need. Everything else, leave that crap home. But you can get you a good vest for around about $40 for that one. This one will run you about $160 with all the gear that's on it. With the exclusion of this admin pouch, that's an extra 30 bucks. But if you're going to spend money, spend it on stuff that counts. What was that just flew past me? A bug or something? That was weird. I saw it on camera. Alright, headgear. You can go get a boonie hat. You can go get a Mitch helmet. You can go get you a bicycle helmet, some Velcro from Walmart, and do one cool Delta Force looking helmet. I've done those and sold them. This is a motorcycle helmet that's been redone in a mossy oak duct tape with a mossy oak printed camo screen over top of that. And what's laid in behind that is liquid clear fiberglass to hold that down. Then once it was dried, I came on the back, I put a big huge Velcro patch. There's my take aim. There's my WETTI name tag when I was working with James. Up here on the front is another area for Velcro to put a name tag across the front. It breathes well. It's hard. I call this the Combat Evolved helmet. A lot of y'all thinking, oh wow, this thing's just too big. Guess what else you can put in here? Communications equipment can go inside this helmet. LAPD SWAT is right now developing a full face motorcycle type helmet for SWAT operations that incorporates gas protection and communications devices. You put a pair of revision goggles that I run with this one over the front of it, and man, you're good to go. And I'm telling you, it won't burn you up. It's nice and cool. It's cooler than you think it is. This one I'm thinking about putting on eBay and building another one, but this is an awesome helmet. I really like how it fits, how it feels. Gives you 100% coverage. Once you put in the goggles, you're set and you're good to go. You got a little area up here in the front where you can run your Camelback mouthpiece and get a drink. You're completely protected. Head, front, back, face, side, ears, everything's protected. If you have the ability to do that stuff, do it. And it's a lot of fun to put it together, and it'll get you a lot of looks on the field. Either one's like you're a nut job, or man, that's awesome, can you do one for me? Then you can turn around and start your own business. This face mask is made by Save Face. This is the Scarface model. This one belongs to my son. Save Face is probably one of the best face masks, full face protection out there. You see these guys on videos running with goggles only. I'm telling you, one of these days they're going to lose a tooth. Okay, I've seen that happen. Full face, there's no reason in the world why you wouldn't run it. It's fog resistant, it's nice. They'll run you about $50, $60 at tx911gear.com. I sell them for around about the same price, plus at $49.95 free shipping. Can't beat it, right? You're not going to get it for that price at EVIC, and you're going to have to pay $17 to ship it. So it's worth going over there and checking that out. This face mask comes down, it protects your face in the front. You have fog resistant lenses, you have 360-degree peripheral view, and you can get down on your weapon very easily. The most of the money that you're going to want to spend, guys, what I'm getting at as a new player, protection, face protection, head protection, ear protection, clothing, protective gear to carry all your ammo, a good gun, not just a starter gun, whether it be AEG or gas blowback. That's what you need. pair of boots. Some give you some ankle support and protection. Some of the games you'll go to, you'll find out that they'll say, okay, uniform regulations. The guys in Woodland are going to play the bad guys. The guys in ACUs are going to play the good guys. Halfway through the day, we'll flip it up. Some people will be in coyotes, some people will be in this. So a lot of times if you research the game and the regulations before you go, you'll know what to go to the surplus store to look for. After a while in airsoft, you'll have so many different loadouts and so many different looks. It's just a matter of jumping off the website, packing your bag, and getting out the door and going to play the game. JT also makes a good full face mask. I don't particularly care for the visor across the top because it doesn't get you down on your weapon that well. Let's see. ACU. You're going to need a gun bag, okay? Guys, I'm telling you, one of the first things that you're going to do is you're going to take that orange tip off your gun. You get caught pulling this thing out of the back of your car without that orange tip on it, you deserve the butt kicking you're going to get from that cop. Not only that, you deserve every butt kicking you're going to get for getting airsoft banned for the rest of us every time you go to a game. Buy this, a necessity. This goes along with the X-Protect. This is an absolute necessity. Whether you go to Walmart and pick one up that's made for a shotgun or a bow makes no difference, as long as that gun is covered up and not in plain view. This one's about 20 bucks. This is the UTG. It runs 5 magazine pouches on the front, fits good with a SCAR or an M4. Or North Star Tactical has the 42-inch double gun bag. So for those guys like me that wants to go with an AEG and a gas gun, you've got 3 big, huge main pockets. This opens up. You've got 2 compartments to store 2 weapons. You can store up to 4 pistols in this thing at one time. You got room for gas bottles. You got room for magazines. You got room for all your superfluous gear that you're going to pack with you, all in one convenient case. Plus, you've got the handles here, and on the back, you've got the shoulder strap that's fastened down.
Ultimate tac bag.
This is the most ultimate tactical weapons deployment bag ever. And it'll run you about 80 bucks. Just if you want one, let me know, and I'll contact Ron Bazaif and I'll get you one. North Star Tactical sells that bag cheaper than anybody else, and I'm telling you, it's just as good as the Cry Precision or any other bag out there. North Star Tactical vests are cheaper. They fit just like a Cirrus, they feel just like a Voodoo, they feel just like an Eagle Industries. I'm telling you guys, it's good quality gear. You know, everybody and their grandmother makes tactical gear, but ones that make it out of good quality stuff, that it won't let you down, but it doesn't break the bank, North Star is the people to go to. North Star and Condor, okay? Let's see, we've covered everything else. Let me see that. Slings. You guys can buy a sling. You're going to need a sling. A sling is going to help you pack around this heavy AEG. Sometimes they run 7-8 pounds. Support gunners, you guys are packing around that 25-pound M60. This is what you need. This one was purchased from Walmart. It's made by one of the premier gun manufacturers in the country, Winchester. This is Winchester's single piece, detachable from this end, assault rifle sling. Just as good as any bungee sling. What I liked about this one and why I bought this one versus going with the Condor, because you're thinking, well, Jedi, you're a retailer, you can get whatever you want. Well, that's true. I can get whatever I want, but the simple fact is I'm not spending the money. I could pay the same wholesale for a Condor or a Black Hawk sling that I bought this for at retail. This was 19 bucks. Okay? It works well. You got the hook right here for your sling plate hookups. Here you go. And this is mine. That was Pyro's. You can also sit there and hook in your quick detached sling swivel. If you buy an AEG or a GBBR that has a quick detached sling swivel, I highly suggest you buy it, especially one that has multiple sling points. This thing is incredible. It's one of the best things I've ever owned, and I wished I had it when I served, but I didn't. It's absolutely nice. So for about $19, infinite adjustability on your sling. Run this bad boy around, hook your AEG, your GBBR up right here. It just hangs free. Cuts down on your weight. When you're moving around, you need to move it out of your way. Slide it around. Go to work with your handgun. Slide your weapon back. You can get that adaptive sling, but I gotta be honest, everybody loved that adaptive sling. I thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen in my life. In combat, You don't have time to push all these adjustable straps and all this stuff to adjust it however you want it, just to do one simple move and move it around your back. This one simple turn, it's done. No pulling 50 different strings like Pinocchio to get something done. A lot of people who create these things do not take into account stress under fire. Stress under fire, and you start pulling on all these different straps and snaps and buckles to get it to do what you want to do, is going to get you killed. It needs to be adaptable in one swift movement. Move it to one side, one swift movement, and get it done and over with. Every wasted second in combat is going to bring you home in a bag, period, whether you're law enforcement or a soldier. So get the easiest to use equipment that does what it's supposed to do. Holsters, you can pick this one up at Walmart. This is adaptable. You can put it on MOLLE, you can put it on your belt, you can put it on a pistol belt, you can even hook it up to a thigh rig because it's got this Velcro piece on the back and another Velcro piece. Fits any pistol, quick release here, or you just simply unsnap it and you're good to go. $7. Now that's $65, $85, $125 stuff. But if you want to buy a Black Hawk Circle, do that. I'm going to get one because I like it. I think it's cool. This video is just to show you that you can get into this sport cheaper than what people tell you. Okay, now when people tell you that BBs are bad, they'll hurt your gun, you need to buy a Mad Bull, I call that terroristic marketing. Okay, I don't care what anybody says about it, it's the truth. Scare the living crap out of the customer, tell them that this is what they need. Come up with some little neat video to show them that this is what they need, and then you sell your stuff to them for a war price. Doesn't have to be that way. I don't operate that way. Mr. Etheridge doesn't work that way. We all sell good gear, good quality gear at the best price we can possibly get it to you for. Keeping in mind that a lot of the manufacturers out there put a high price on us is going to tell what our end price is. But if we can get it to you cheaper, we're going to get it to you cheaper than most people do. But, you know, don't be afraid. Just use your brain. God put one between your ears. Order the best you can get for as much money, as little money as you have to spend, and get out there on the field and play. It's very simple. When it comes down to it, what's the right gun for me, Jedi? Depends. Depends on how often you're going to play, what time of year you're going to play, your environment, and what position you're going to play. If you're going to play sniper, get a sniper rifle, get an Umarex AEG MP7 as a backup. Okay, why? Because it has full automatic. Or get you a Glock 18C by KWA, or somebody else that's got full automatic capability. But I would say use the AEG or the KWA GBB MP7. It's a small footprint, has a shoulder stock that comes out. The KWA KMP9 is a good backup for a sniper, because once they discover where you're at, they're going to storm you, and you're going to have to get out of there in a hurry. And you're going to need something that's going to reach out and touch somebody at a distance and put out enough rounds to cover your escape. They don't know if it's just you and the spotter or if it's you and 15 other guys. But if you throw enough rounds down range, they're going to think, oh, 15 other guys up there, slow my roll. So those are all kinds of things you need to think about. You need to think ahead. What could happen? What's possible? What's out of the realms of possibility? But don't just settle for a starter gun. Get you a good one to begin with and just forget about it. That way you don't have to turn around and worry about it later. If you get a GBBR, make sure you take care of it. Follow the rules in the box to take care of it. Come on these videos, send me an email. I'll tell you how to take care of it. It's still going to serve you well. You know, a friend of mine, Chris Taylor, who is a subscriber on my channel, bought an HFC pistol. I had an HFC SIG-226, okay? Sold it. Wished I hadn't. Great gas blowback pistol. Never had a flaw out of it. Here's the thing. He was playing in Maryland and lost one of his magazines. About a year later, he comes back. He's walking through that same field with some buddies of his. He steps on something irregular and hard. He looks down. It's his magazine, covered in rust. He picks it up, pushes the gas release valve. Gas came out of it. A year in the woods, snow, wind, rain, ice, sunshine, animals saying, what the hell is this? Can't eat that, throw it down. And it still had gas in it. I've had $50 magazines that I'd put gas in, come back a week later, nothing. Just slowly leaks over time. HFC makes a good product. And that gas magazine story, I'll buy it be a true story or to tell you something. This is the Jedi 270 from Airsoft RX. I appreciate your time and watching. I hope this answers some questions for you. I'm sure there's some things that I didn't cover that you're going to have questions about. Like always, feel free to send me an email or message me here on YouTube. I'll be more happy to answer them. And go Wildcats. Here's to gearing up next year for another SEC NCAA National Championship. These guys rock, baby. They rock. Why? Because we're Kentuckians and we're the best in the world. Peace.